Ngozi, a fashion designer with a flair for the dramatic and a laugh that could shatter glass, was having a terrible Tuesday. Her sewing machine had jammed, her tailor's chalk had gone missing, and her latest design, a vibrant ankara two-piece, looked suspiciously like a giant yam. Chike, this is not how a future CEO of Ngozi's glamour operates, she declared to her reflection, adjusting her gele dramatically. Meanwhile, Chike, a tech entrepreneur whose coding skills were only rivaled by his ability to trip over flat surfaces, was on a mission. He needed a custom-made outfit for a crucial investor meeting, something that screamed innovative genius and not "I borrowed this from my uncle." Their paths collided, literally, at the bustling Ariaria International Market. Ngozi, lost in thought about her yam-inspired design, wasn't looking where she was going. Chike, engrossed in a podcast about blockchain, was equally oblivious. Crash! Ngozi's carefully balanced bag of fabrics went flying, scattering colorful prints like confetti. Chike, ever the graceful one, landed squarely in a pile of freshly peeled oranges. "My fabrics!" Ngozi shrieked, hands on her hips. Chike, still covered in orange pulp, looked up, blinking. "My dignity?" Thus began their hilarious and chaotic introduction. He tried to help, only managing to tangle himself further in her spilled fabrics. She tried to scold him, but his sincere, if clumsy, apologies and the sight of him trying to brush orange peel off his expensive loafers made her burst into laughter. Chike, still feeling guilty and secretly charmed by her vivaciousness, insisted on making it up to her. When he heard she was a fashion designer, a light bulb went off. "I need an outfit for an investor meeting," he blurted out. Ngozi, initially hesitant, saw an opportunity. "Fine," she said, eyeing his rather bland attire. "But you're paying double for the trouble you caused, and you're modeling my yam-inspired design first." Chike, desperate, agreed. Their first design consultation was a disaster. He wanted something subtle yet impactful. She wanted him in a fuchsia agbada with sequined pineapples. "Ngozi, I'm trying to secure millions, not join a circus," Chike pleaded, holding up a shimmering fabric. "And I'm trying to make you memorable, not a wallflower," she retorted, draping him in another outlandish print. Despite their constant bickering, a strange chemistry began to brew. Ngozi found herself appreciating Chike's quirky intelligence and his surprisingly good sense of humor, once he got past his initial awkwardness. Chike, in turn, was captivated by Ngozi's passion, her infectious energy, and the way her eyes sparkled when she talked about her designs. One afternoon, while trying to explain the intricacies of a cuff design, Ngozi accidentally pricked Chike's finger with a pin. He yelped. She gasped, immediately sucking on his finger. They both froze, suddenly aware of the proximity, the warmth, and the electric tension that had been building between them. Chike managed, his face turning a shade of red that matched the ankara print. "Sorry," Ngozi mumbled, pulling away, her own cheeks flushing. The investor meeting outfit ended up being a surprisingly chic, modern take on traditional Igbo attire, subtly incorporating elements of Chike's tech world and Ngozi's vibrant style. He looked sharp, confident, and utterly unforgettable. News travels fast in Igbo communities, and soon, both Ngozi's and Chike's families got wind of their collaboration. Ngozi's mother, Mama Ngozi, a formidable woman who believed a good wife was measured by her ability to cook ofe nsala and spot a good bargain, was ecstatic. "Ah, Ngozi, you've finally found a responsible young man, not like those artistes you used to bring home." Mama Ngozi still hadn't forgiven the performance artist who tried to incorporate her prize-winning yam into his sculpture. Chike's mother, Mrs. Obina, A sophisticated lady who valued education and a proper accent was more cautious. A fashion designer? Is she serious? Does she understand the complexities of venture capital? The first family dinner was, predictably, a comedy of errors. Mama Ngozi piled Chike's plate so high with pounded yam and egusi soup that he could barely see over it. "Eat, my son. You look like you haven't seen food since last market day." Mrs. Obinna, meanwhile, quizzed Ngozi on the latest economic trends and her business plan. Ngozi, unfazed, eloquently explained her vision for global Ankara domination, even referencing a few tech terms she'd picked up from Chike. Chike, in an attempt to impress Mama Ngozi, tried to praise her cooking but ended up choking on a piece of stockfish, leading to a frantic back-patting session from Ngozi and a stern look from Mrs. Obinna. Despite the initial awkwardness, something beautiful started to happen. Mama Ngozi, seeing Chike's genuine kindness and his unwavering support for Ngozi, started to warm up. Mrs. Obinna, witnessing Ngozi's intelligence and her undeniable charm, began to see past the fashion designer label. And through it all, Ngozi and Chike found solace and humor in each other's presence. They'd sneak glances, share knowing smiles, and subtly support each other through the well-meaning but overwhelming family interrogations. Months passed. Chike's tech startup secured its funding, and Ngozi's glamour was thriving, even landing a spot in a major fashion magazine. Their individual successes only strengthened their bond. They were a team. A slightly chaotic, utterly devoted team. Chike knew it was time. He meticulously planned a romantic proposal at a fancy restaurant. He even rehearsed his speech in front of his dog, who, he swore, looked impressed. On the night of the proposal, everything that could go wrong did. The restaurant lost their reservation. The ring, which he had meticulously hidden, almost got eaten by Mama Ngozi's perpetually hungry goat. A long story involving a misplaced bag and an open gate. And when he finally managed to get Ngozi alone on a moonlit balcony, a sudden downpour started. "Chineke, are you trying to drown me, Chike?" Ngozi shrieked, her perfectly styled hair plastered to her face. Chike, soaked to the bone and looking utterly pathetic, decided to abandon his carefully crafted speech. He got down on one knee, rain dripping from his nose. "Ngozi," he began, his voice surprisingly steady despite the chaos. "I know I'm clumsy, I sometimes say the wrong thing, and I still can't tell the difference between satin and silk. But I love you. I love your laugh, your passion, even your yam-inspired designs. Will you marry me?" Ngozi stared at him, a mixture of exasperation and overwhelming love on her face. Then, she threw her head back and laughed. That beautiful, glass-shattering laugh. "Chike Obinna," she said, pulling him up and kissing him soundly in the pouring rain. "You are absolutely ridiculous, and yes, 1,000 times yes.